what does it mean to live in the end? Sometimes I get asked this question by people who have read Neville but don't really understand what he means, which is totally fine. Like, the language he uses is super archaic and flowery. I didn't like it at first either. But basically, to live in the end means like what your desire is, all the way to the end. When he says that, he means, what do you really want? So a lot of people are manifesting a text because they actually want to be with their SP. So it's not really the text message they want, it's a relationship that they want. Or a lot of people are manifesting a job offer when what they really want is financial security. They don't really want like to work a job either. They think they do because that's just what Seth calls like single line of consciousness, 3D thinking. It's just like thinking from the perspective of someone who doesn't know the law. But like, go directly to the end. Like, what do you actually want? The end differs for everybody. Some people might actually just want to be with a person. Some people might actually not care for SP, and what they really want is just to feel like beautiful, to feel loved, to feel appreciated, to be happy. A lot of people, they don't actually want to work. They just want to feel like they have financial security, like they're independent, they can pay the rent. For other people, it's not about the money. They really just want a job because they want that feeling of being able to give back to society, or they want to do something that they're passionate about, something that like gives them a sense of purpose, a sense of like value, fulfillment, a sense of growth. So that's what the end means. So living in the end, it doesn't mean take action physically, but it means to think from the end. What would your thought process be like? What would your mind look like if you had your desire right now? So if you're manifesting an SP and you don't have them right now, if you did, like, ask yourself, if you did have them right now, what would your thoughts be? How would you feel? What would you think? So an example of this might be, and I love this example, I got it from my friend Michael. Say you know that your SP likes picnics. You can think to yourself, oh hey, the weather's really nice on Friday. I know that he or she really likes picnics. What sort of thing should I pack for a picnic on Friday? Like, I'd like to surprise them by taking them to their favorite park, laying a blanket down by the lake, and then we could just pull out some snacks, maybe some wine and cheese, maybe pack some sandwiches, whatever. So that's like one example of living from the end. It's just like, would you actually be having this thought if you were with your SP right now? Or you could say like, oh man, that new movie's out and I like really want to see it with him in the theaters. Maybe I should ask, but what's a good day to do it? Well, Thursday have book club, so it's got to be a Tuesday. You know, like, think how you would think if you had your SP. And for a job, you might be having thoughts like, well, I should really change my gym schedule. Like, I'm gonna have to start going to the gym either on the weekends or early in the day because after I start this job from 9 to 5, I'm gonna be busy, or something like that. Or, hey, I could use like a new wardrobe. I wonder if I should start donating my own clothes so that I can start getting new clothes for the shop. Things like that. Like, what would you actually be thinking if you had your desire now? And what would you actually be feeling if you had your desire now? And this is different for everyone. I can't tell you how to feel. If you were actually in a relationship with your SP, or if you actually had your job, how would you feel? So for SP, that might mean that you feel, it's such a huge spectrum of things you can feel. You might feel beautiful, you might feel loved, seen, understood, validated, appreciated, powerful, accepted, peaceful, excited, calm. Like, it means something different for everybody. As for having a job, you might feel anything from independence, pride, feeling like a boss, feeling abundant. For some people, feeling free. Even though for others, having a job means the opposite. You might feel accomplished, especially if you got a job in a field that's like notoriously difficult for you to get a job in. You might feel appreciated for your skill set. You might feel competent. You might feel grown up, especially if this is your first job, things like that. And this is a really personal question, which is why I can't just tell you like, yeah, you should just feel beautiful. And that's how you're gonna get your SP. Like, there's plenty of beautiful women out there who know and feel they're beautiful, who don't have their dream man yet. So you have to ask yourself, how would you feel if you had your desire? Whatever the answer to that is, you return to feeling it frequently. And yeah, at first it can be a little difficult. It can feel a little weird. You might be asking yourself, how am I supposed to feel like loved if I don't have a partner? Try your best. Like, what do you think you'll feel? It doesn't have to be exactly what you really would feel. You don't have to be on point with getting it down to a T. Just try your best to feel how you think you would feel, and do that every day. And eventually it's to become really natural. At first it's gonna feel a little weird, and Neville said this too. He likened it to like wearing a new garment, like wearing a new suit, where you walk down the street and you think, like, you feel like it doesn't fit very well, and you feel like everybody's looking at you, and like everyone's aware that the suit doesn't fit you too well. But eventually, like, you grow into it, you break it in, and it feels really comfortable, it feels really natural. I don't wear men's suits, so I like to describe it more as like breaking in new shoes, where you have like a brand new shoe and it might feel a little bit weird, but eventually after a few days of walking around in it, it's like shaped to your foot now and it feels comfy. It's okay if in the beginning it feels a little weird. That's gonna happen. Just keep persisting, keep doing it, and eventually one day it's gonna feel really natural. It's just gonna become so natural that it's like your default state. You don't even have to try to put yourself in that state anymore. At that point, your 3D should start to change, and you can do this process over again where you ask yourself, okay, how would I feel if I had my desire? And if you're not fully there yet, like for example, you might be really good at feeling loved now, but you might not feel attractive or chosen. Okay, then you start doing work on returning to the feeling of feeling attractive or chosen until that becomes natural. You get what I mean? Like my favorite Neville quote, you guys have heard this a million times probably, feeling a state produces that state. So if you continuously feel what you want to feel, or what you think you'd feel if you had your desire, your 3D is going to eventually reflect. So you keep living in the end, meaning your mental diet, your thoughts, and your feelings. Keep conjuring up the thoughts and feelings that you would have if you had your desire, and eventually the 3D has to change. Anyway, I hope you got something good out of that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.